Hi everyone, Sir Douglas of the Argos Fancast here once again, and today we're going to talk what happened on Friday night. The Argos unfortunately lost to the Montreal Alouettes to the tune of 30-20. But also in this video, we're going to do our game preview as I'm recording this on a Tuesday, and the game is on Thursday where the Argos travel out west to the Green Hell, that is Regina. So they're going to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So let's get right into it with the game previous. Well, I know there was a lot of people that were kind of miffed last Friday night when leaving the stadium, saying the referees were all over Toronto, that they didn't call anything against Montreal. So I had to rewatch the game with a sober mind and taking the old double blue glasses off in order to get a proper perspective of the game here. And there may have been one call, maybe one, but other than that, the refs called a good game. So let's get into it. Starting off in the first half, Toronto got first blood, took an early 3-0 lead off a Liram Hajrullahu field goal. That was basically just a lot of running on the ground for Toronto. Kadeem Carey had a great day again on Friday. On Montreal's possession, though, they ended up taking the lead, a 7-3 lead. Tyson Philpott, foul. Well, let's put it this way. He made it look really easy, but Toronto's defense didn't help in this case. He blew through Richard Leonard. He then ended up slipping on the grass. Philpott caught it straight into the end zone, completely untouched. Shit happens, as they say. Then later on, Toronto cut the lead to 1. Once again, Liram Hajrullahu field goal. Once again, same old story with Toronto. Lots of runs, screens, and short passes. Montreal ended up taking a 10-6 lead. David Cote with the field goal on this one, and this one was actually a very penalty-assisted drive. This is where I think the tripping call happened that Jason Moss challenged and succeeded in getting. I know a lot of us that were sitting in the 116, we were all like, we were just all making jokes later throughout the whole game, saying, "Where's the hooking call? Where's the obstruction call?" Things of that nature. Because, well, let's face it, we were all a little tipsy, and we were all just like, "What the hell?" Like, the guy didn't fall. Why was it called? But you can't do that. Like, what do you want me to say? Once again, Montreal again. Another field goal from David Cote, making it 13-6. There was lots of stuff. Toronto was definitely protecting the deep ball, but they left too much underneath. But the start to drive, James Letcher Jr., great returner for Montreal, by the way. He had a great return to start the drive. And that's how the first half ended, 13-6 for Toronto. I felt that they were still in the hunt. So we kind of just sat back and watched the ceremony for one of our best quarterbacks that ever played for us, Ricky Ray, and of course for Lou Heyman, Bob Obilovich, and Peter Martin. They all recognized now as part of the builders portion of the all-time Argos. So congrats to you guys. So moving on to the second half, this is where I thought it got a little weird because within the first little bit, the referee signaled for a hold when really, face mask. Let me go through the differences. Hold, face mask. So the ref signaled a hold and said 15-yard penalty. And we're like, why? Since when is a hold for 15 yards? Upon sober review, that's when I noticed that there was a little bit of face mask going on. So, yeah, that was once again legit call. Once again, it was a penalty. It was a little bit of a penalty-assisted drive, but once again, Deshaun Amos nearly had an interception in the end zone. It just bounced out of his hands. tough luck for him lately. I mean, let's see, last week when he got nailed for the pass interference, this week he had an interception that he kind of bobbled, but ultimately in the end, Montreal David Cote field goal took the lead. Took the lead now 16-6. Uh, the Argos then came right back. That's where I saw that there was a questionable miss on a roughing the passer as Cameron Dukes slid, and he would and normally when you slide you're not supposed to get touched, and the Montreal guy kind of touched him, but I saw why they didn't call it because it wasn't an egregious contact, but I mean I understand how angry everyone was, including myself, seeing that our quarterback got hit and it should have been called a rough on the passer right away, but I can see the referee's point of view upon sober review. So once again, same kind of deal, same kind of deal as it has been the whole game. Short passes, runs, screens, got within field goal range. Liram Hajrullahu makes it 16-9. Then, the one thing that every single team hates, but yet is entirely legal to the rules: the dribble kick. Basically, throws it to the line of scrimmage. Rather, Cody Fajardo throws it to a receiver, line of scrimmage. He drops it, drop kicks it, falls on top of it. There goes your 2nd and 25. Now you got a fresh set of downs. You love to see it when it's not your team, but you can understand why there's a lot of people who want to see this kind of stuff in the game gone. I can see why, because it's a bit of a cheat code. But if you're a defensive coordinator and you know that the other team is prone to doing this, don't you think that you would have someone to defend against that? Just saying, it's not on the league to plug the loophole. At least not now, because I don't think the league is going to plug the loophole because everyone loves to see it. It shouldn't be up to the league to plug the loophole. It should be up to you to defend against it. That's all I'm going to say. So, dribble kick, gave him a fresh set of downs, and because of that, they marched down the field. They got to, I think, the 45 or 40 yard line or something like that, and it was a second and short. And they pretty much, Caleb Evans was out there. Everything was supposed to be called sneak. Nope. Cole Speaker got underneath the coverage, burned Leonard Johnson again, found Caleb Evans, found him, touchdown, 23-9 lead for Montreal at that point. What can you do when your secondary is Swiss cheese? So once again, Argos get the ball. Argos once again, when their next score, another Liram Hajrullahu field goal, 23-12. At this point, we're thinking, okay, surely we're down by a fair bit. Don't you think we should start taking some deep shots now? Guess not. So when the Argos got the ball back after a Montreal, I think it was like a Montreal punted the ball. Then when Toronto got the ball back, Dukes threw a ball that was going to nobody except a Montreal defender. Easy interception. And that led to Caleb Evans doing a sneak touchdown. A 30-12 lead at that point. And then once again, same old story as it has been the whole game. Lots more dink and dunk. And then finally, inside the final 3 minutes, Cameron Dukes gets subbed off for Brian Scott, who in garbage time takes the first deep shot of the game, finds Mackay Polk, end zone, touchdown. Dan Adeboboye takes the ball in on the 2-point conversion, and that's how the game ended. Final score: Montreal 30, Toronto 20. I think everyone who's got half a football brain can say, way too much dink and dunk. Way too much dink and dunk. I'm going to go into it in the preview, but way too much. basically, I think he might have been doing his reads too quickly, to be honest, because there was a couple of times where there were open deep receivers. And of course, then they were pretty much hammer throwing. The Argos were throwing hammers in this game. They were a very undisciplined bunch. So it seemed like it was just a perfect storm of, well, one team's got to lose. Montreal's streak is now over 280 days and counting since their last loss, which was also against Toronto. What do you want me to say? They just got to get better. So, with that being said, we're going to go into now the preview with against Saskatchewan coming up on Thursday, July 4th. I will be headed down there. That's the reason why I'm recording this now in the same vein as the recap video. And, well, because it's a bit too early, normally I like to put these out when we get a depth chart. Don't have one yet, sorry. But the only things that we know for the certain is that Trevor Harris is going to be out for 6 weeks. He's got an injured MCL, so that's once again in your leg. Sean Bain also he was still out for personal reasons. Didn't practice today. I didn't practice over the last 2 days. Still got one more day of practice, so he could still come back into the lineup at that point. The only potential out for Toronto is Quincy Mauger. He's got, once again, his leg is bothering him again. So that is our only potential out at the moment. There could be more. I'll keep you guys informed on that. However, we do have an old hand coming back. I don't know if it's an old hand, but you could say a good pair of hands coming back in Robert Priester. He was re-signed back to the Argos earlier this week. Thank God, because we need the help on the secondary. And they also signed, I think, another couple of rookies that are going to be out. That's going one other rookie out for the DBs as well. And they also got rid of Muddy Waters and Darius Joyner. So those two. So the Argos signed 3, dumped 2. So we're going to, hopefully Robert Priester will make the lineup this week. I don't think he's going to, but fingers crossed that he does. So what do the Argos have to do this week to try to beat Saskatchewan? Well, I can tell you one thing right now. The secondary has to plug the holes. 2 weeks ago, it was Benji Franklin getting hung out to dry. Last week, it was Leonard Johnson getting hung out to dry. They have to try and obviously, getting Robert Priester back does help, but they have to try and plug these holes in the secondary because it's just like they are giving up way too many yards. I just think they're giving up way too many yards. They're giving up way too many points as well because this is something that was not really seen last year. And I get it, 16-2, you're going to lose players, but when you lose 3 key players off the secondary and you don't really have a plan or you don't really have a replacement for them just yet, this is where the secondary needs to tighten up and they need to plug the holes. For the front 7, because Trevor Harris is not in the lineup, eat. Front 7, eat, gentlemen, eat. You're going to have Saskatchewan's QB2 back there. Show him what it means to go up against a proper elite defense that every single one of us knows that we are. Feast, my boys, feast. On the offensive side of the ball, not much I can say to the offensive line. You guys they're doing an amazing job keeping quarterback upright, making holes for Kadeem Carey, and just doing damage against the opposing defenses. But for the quarterback, find the deep ball again. We know you're capable. Cameron, we know you're capable of throwing deep balls. We've seen it. I don't know if it's because Montreal you were, I don't know, a little sheepish to try and throw that ball to make try and let somebody like DeMonte Coxie or Mackay Polk make a play. But against Saskatchewan, you have to at least try to go more than 5 yards through the air. Go like 15, 20. See, like, just try it. What have you got? I mean, your accuracy goes down. So what? You've still got one of the best accuracies in the league right now. Just make it a little bit more exciting and a little bit less predictable. That's all. That's pretty much it. That's all I've got this week, folks. Like I said, I'm going to be headed out to Saskatchewan, so that's why the video's coming out now, and it's kind of everything's all mashed together. So once again, throw a like, leave a comment if you want to, and please subscribe to the channel. Any updates that I'm going to have is going to be done through the YouTube Shorts, as I'm not going to have any access to my normal equipment. So anything that I'm going to have, I'll be doing it through YouTube Shorts. That is also where you will find the instant reactions videos as well. Mainly because I want to get I want to get it out ahead of Ben and JB. Sorry, guys. But for all intents, but like I said, please subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye on the shorts throughout the remainder of the week, and when I come back, that's when I'll have the new name for this segment. That's when I will do the Upon Sober review against Saskatchewan coming up this weekend. So everyone, I hope you had a great Canada Day. To anyone who's watching this from the U.S., have yourself an awesome 4th of July weekend upcoming. We'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone.